On this episode, we'll cover a span of the past 3 deer seasons, how I got access to a new spot, the encounters I had, and how it all came together.
Holy cow.
When approaching a new season, the anticipation is almost as fun as being in the stand. Almost. Before each season, you start collecting summer trail cam photos, hanging stands, or maybe even gaining access to a new piece of property to hunt. Going into the 2018 season, I was able to do all 3. My neighbor newly acquired a piece of property that was next to us, and he graciously allowed me access. With little knowledge of the area, I wasn't quite sure what to expect going into the summer, but I was doing some glassing from the distance where I could find out where these deer were coming in and out, hung some tree stands, added some trail cameras back there, and couldn't wait for deer season to arrive. Just about ready to go here. Day 2 of the season here in New York, October 2nd. And I'm excited. I've never hunted this spot before. My neighbor just bought this property over the summer. He owns another, 20 acres behind me. I have permission for that, and he gave me the green light on this. Been scouting a little bit this year. Usually the deer movement's not that great back here, but what's different about this year is there's corn. There's standing corn, probably a good 10 acres of it, and it just goes throughout. Now, there's this little opening here between the hedgerow and the creek behind me that's probably a good 2-3 foot higher than when I come out here to set this stand up. But it's between there and the corn. I got myself a box scrape set up about 30 yards from me. First sit in a new spot, anything can happen. It's always exciting to sit in a new spot. You feel the opportunities could be endless. Pair that with only being the second day of the season, and you have the makings for a great hunt. It's hard to see here, but I've been watching 3 doe in the field, and they're starting to move in my direction. First deer of the season. My first sit in this spot. She's down 35 yards there. Wasn't sure if I was gonna be able to hunt here tonight. The way the wind was, it's been swirling, it's been nasty. It was only like 46 degrees here yesterday. It's near 70 right now. supposed to get up to 75 Thursday. Today's Tuesday. And like I said before, first year that they've had corn back here, I had deer in my backyard. I don't live too far from here. My neighbor is nice enough to let me hunt. I can walk on my back door, sneak up in here a little bit in the afternoon, and hey, just got it done here in New York. Day 2, doe down. Filming myself tonight, so I'm gonna just finish packing up everything, and we'll head on over there, and we'll grab her and take her back to the house. You know, last night the weather was kind of crazy. It downpoured. I thought that, you know, I was gonna get lucky with the rain and kind of stay dry, but that didn't happen. It was cold too. It was in like the high 40s. Then tonight, complete opposite. I mean, it was muggy out. Been muggy all day, rain on and off. Came to a different spot tonight. I actually just set this spot up a couple weeks ago. Been scouting it all summer. Like, had her and 2 other ones come in tonight. 30-yard shot, was able to put her down. No track job tonight. Doe in the freezer. Just getting this season started.
I had another great encounter in this spot later that season, but we'll get to that in another episode.
Yes!
Now we're going to fast forward to the 2019 archery season. Same stand, different food source, same great action.
Early archery season here in Western New York. Kind of a breezy night, but I got a good wind for this stand. I don't get to hunt it very often because it's kind of set up for this wind. And I tell you what, couldn't ask for much better action than I had back here last night. And, bachelor group of younger bucks come out. Not too long after that, a handful of does all over me, which was good and bad. I was covered up, so I was going to try to take a whack at one of the does, but there was no way. Too many eyes and just not enough shooting angles at that point. There's definitely some clover in here, which, hey, I don't care, it's a food plot. So I'm hunting that. Hopefully to have some similar luck as I had last night, maybe even get a shot off. So.
I watched these doe for quite a while, but they never come close enough and present a shot. I can see something else has grabbed their attention. This young buck heading out to the field to grab a snack. The deer movement has been good, but I'm running low on camera light, and as in most cases, the bigger bucks don't hit the field until closer to dark, and tonight was no exception. I watched this young buck move out into the field, and behind him I can see more deer are starting to come in. As the night draws in, my camera light's getting lower, but I can pull my binoculars up and see that it's another buck coming in. A little while later, I see more movement and more deer coming in. 2 giants have just entered the field. At this point, I know I'm all but out of light. All I can do is sit back and watch the show. And then a 4th buck enters, and he is huge. This ended up being my only encounter with these 3 big bucks this season. I only hoped that I would get another opportunity to see him next year. I would end up in the stand for another 2.5 hours, waiting for these deer to feed off for me to sneak out and get out of there without disrupting them. Now it's the summer of 2020. We're dealing with some drastic changes in the world, and a lot of things are different. We have to adjust to the day-to-day ups and downs. One thing that remains is heightened anticipation for deer season. Food plot preps and trail camera sets go on as business as usual. However, I could not wait to see if any of those bucks from the previous season made it through. Pulling a trail camera card is like a kid on Christmas morning. You never know what to expect, or you never know what's going to show up. When I pulled cards that first time that summer, well, you could say that I was pretty jacked for opening day.
Finally, deer season is here. Opening day here in New York, hunting western New York. Got this huge cornfield in front of me with a nice easy walkway in between me and this big ditch line here. I've hunted here for a few years now. Got some real good bucks on trail camera. 2 or 3 in particular that I'm really after. The one I believe might have been the one that I had an encounter with only once early season last year. They never came within bow range, and last year this was just all greens, and they hung out in this field, and I was actually stuck in the tree for almost 2 hours before they left, and I was able to sneak out back to the house. But all summer long I had the trail camera out here. I was able to even see them from my house above the corn when it was growing. I mean, that's how tall some of these bucks are. So I'm super pumped. I know there's some doe in the area too, and I will not hesitate on a doe tonight. I'd like to get one down early, get some meat in the freezer, and hey, love this spot. Got a good wind. That's why I'm here tonight. And what can I say? Another year in a tree. Crazy year as it's been.
As the season went on, I had a few more encounters, but things slowed up a little bit. Although I did have my button buck buddy here to come visit me almost every night at this spot. I would also have some other visitors that would drop by to say hello. One late October evening, though, I did catch some movement along the hedgerow. I see this buck step out, but he's well over 100 yards away, and daylight is running short. It wasn't until one random Monday night that I just happened to be able to get in the woods where things really started to heat up.
It's a cool and breezy afternoon here in western New York. Partly cloudy, and it's actually a bonus day hunt for me. I wasn't supposed to be able to get out tonight, but my schedule changed, so I'm taking the opportunity. So, shot behind the house and set up. I got a perfect win. Hunted out here a couple nights ago and had a couple small bucks. but that was been about it. Been pretty slow back here. I'm not real sure what's up. A couple years ago when they first put corn in, it was really good, and then last year they had like a cover crop, clover, and that was fantastic. And I thought with them having corn in here would be good again, but not really the case. I don't know if they're just working more of their way to the west or what. I had some real good ones on trail camera that I'm hoping are still around. We're getting into later October now, so this is getting to be the time of year where they spread out, move around, and we're getting ready for that pre-rut. Like I said, just seizing the opportunity for tonight. Beautiful night.
I had my early encounter with my button buck pal. Then a little while later, I have this small buck come through the corn. These deer would both eventually feed off. A little while later, though, I catch some movement off to my right. Now, I'm not a guy who normally names deer, but this deer, he's definitely worthy of a name. We came up with the name Garth. I have trail camera pictures of him from the summertime, and when I first saw him, I knew that it was him. I watched him work into the cornfield, but it was hard to pick him up on the camera. He was easing his way through the field feeding on the corn, and I was just hoping he would come close enough to give me a shot. At one point, I would have this deer at 25 yards, but unfortunately, I never had an opening for a shot. Him and his doe that I didn't even know was with him would hang out for about an hour, but eventually they would work their way up and out of the field, and that was it for my encounter with him. I was doing everything I could at this point to bring this buck back in my direction, but he was not going to leave his lady. I thought I was going to get lucky here when he looked back, but all it was my button buck buddy coming back out to do some more feeding.
Cue tracks.
I couldn't get that deer off my mind, and I could not get back out to that spot quick enough.
Just got to my spot this afternoon. Decided to come out. I was kind of playing it by ear with the weather. There was a lot of rain in the forecast, and probably, I don't know, say a half hour ago, it was coming down a little bit, and I just got home from Farmersville late last night. Had a great time down there, like usual. And so I was kind of back and forth, but I was able to get all my clothes washed and repacked for Cortland coming up this week, and decided, you know what, the weather looks like it's going to hold up pretty good. I got a good wind out here. It's calm. It's kind of an overcast night, and I still can't get the encounter that I had almost a week ago with that buck out of my head from this stand. Who knows what's going to go on tonight. But with the slim chance that he might come out again during the daytime and maybe give me a shot, really helped motivate me to get back out here and get after him or the other couple shooters that I have on trail camera. Or even a doe for that matter, to be honest with you. We're getting into late October here, got about a week out before Halloween, and a lot of pre-rut activity is starting up. Some of the smaller bucks and even some of the bigger bucks were chasing doe.
Again, I catch movement around the same area where that buck came from last time. This time it was only a quick glimpse, and by the time I get the camera over there, he's gone. I try to stay optimistic and keep scanning the field just in case he comes back out. And then to my left, I hear some movement and some corn being chewed on. I see the doe, and I watch her for a little while. And before you know it, things start to get exciting real quick. I'm filming myself, and I see him coming out of the corner of my eye.
He jumped out. Come on, I don't know what happened. This doe must have been in here for a while. I thought for sure that I could hear corn and stalks and stuff. I couldn't see anything, but there's birds all over the place. I saw him come out, and then he jumped back in. I didn't know what happened, and then she was kind of working her way, and he was exactly what I was hoping for. Come right around here, was right in front of me, 20 yards.
Well, it's been, I don't know, probably about 45 minutes after I shot. My dad was nice enough to come up here and give me a hand here. We're gonna try to do this track job through the cornfield. I don't think he made it out of here. I was able to kind of see him as far as he went. I would say 80 yards or so before I lost sight of him. And I'm hoping that's where he's piled up. So, got my arrow right here. I left that. And we're gonna just jump on this trail here. Grab a light. I peeked in a little bit, and I see I got some good blood high and low. Alright, so he went in here. See his trail?
Mm-hmm.
This isn't Garth either. This is a different deer. I'll have to go back and check my trail cameras from the summer. This might have been another one that he was running with. I'm thinking that might have been, I had a lower tine wide, what I thought was a 10, running together with Garth and another one we call Lucky, an 8-point who, when he looks up, it looks like just one big horseshoe. And I think this is the other one that was running with him this summer. So I had that encounter with Garth last week, and it
put this one on the ground tonight. Awesome.
What an awesome hunt and an awesome deer. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.